when fly fishing for salmon, a fly represents different tactical possibilities. Now, this type of fly is a hackle fly, mainly because it's made up of hackles. And it is a type of fly that you can use in many different situations. Now, this alley shrimp pattern here is a bit neutral. It has a bit of flash in it and some red color, which makes it visible. But if you're fishing in like really murky waters and you want something that stands out a bit more, you can use rubber legs to create an effect. This is bright yellow and black and has some more weight to it if you want to get down deeper. You can do the classic tilde, which is a well-known pattern for salmon fishing. It looks very similar to the alley shrimp, however has some different colors and is a bit more neutral toning, and it doesn't have, you know, the bucktail as the rear hackle. And you know, if you really want to get down deep, and you can also do this as a Pluck Francis in yellow, which is good in early season. The red types of flies are perhaps better in autumn. The idea about these flies is that they go down very close to the fish, and that means that it can often create a reaction with the fish. That's why they're so effective at times. So a type of fly that you can use for very many different fishing situations if you want to go down to the fish and fish close to them. Today we're going to tie a variation of the classic alley shrimp, which is a fly that is caught many salmon in Norway, Scotland, many places all over the world really. It's a fly that works well in murky waters due to the red color. It has the ability to irritate the fish and thereby, you know, creating a take. So here we go. First off, I'm going to take the Pro Sport Fisher. This is a Pro Classic tube, medium, in a fluoro orange, and I'm going to cut off about 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters of tube. Then we burn a collar. Like this, and cool it down a bit, and then we just push it on to our needle. I'm using a black tying thread and start up on the rear part of the tube. There we go. As a butt on the fly, I'm using Mirage Tinsel. Just a bit to give it a bit of flashy effect in the water. Something that reflects light. There we go. Not much, but just a bit. Like this. Now this is basically a hackle fly, like the tilde or that type of flies, but I'm using bucktail in the end of the fly, like you find it for instance on the snelda, and this is also part of the original classic pattern. So I'm just going to take a small bunch of bucktail in red, and I'm going to take out the small fibers, trim it a bit so I get the right amount. This is a bit too much. There we go. And I find the right length, which is approximately 4 centimeters. And then I try to put it so that it comes all around the tube like a hackle. And I do some loose turns And I check up, and you can see that I've made a mess underneath, so I just pull some of the hair strands so that it will create this hackle using these bucktail fibers. Then I pull in, which make the bucktail stand out, and secure it with some turns, and then cut off the excess as close to the tying point as possible. And just going to trim it. There we go. And secure it down with some turns. There we go. All right, now I need a bit of flash. This is crystal mirror flash. I take one strand and I tie it in the same length of the bucktail fiber on the side pointing in towards me. Secure it, and then I pull the material to the other side of the fly and tie it down so that it's spread out on either side. Trim length. There you go. And I need one to go on top as well. Just pick out one more. And we fasten it on top. Like this. And just pull it in place. There we go. And we secure it. And then I take the flash and tie it in on the lower part of the fly as well, so that these flash strands are equally distributed around the fly, or as close to as you can. Once you've tied down your flash material, it's time to put in a rib. And I use some oval silver tinsel in size small. And tie it in on the lower side of the fly. There we go. Then I take some red Salmo Supreme dye. I think this will do it just nicely. Nothing too thick or heavy, just a bit. And then I rib it with the silver tinsel. And I secure. Cut away the excess, like that. There we go. Next step is coq de lion. This is a Pardo, and I choose a Hackle fiber that is not too long, but still has a bit of length to it. All right. All right. use my fingers to fold back so that the thing falls in nice and neatly. Keep the turns coming one close to the last one. This is like 4 turns. Then I secure the material. Now it's time to find, this is a Pro Sportsfisher Pro Flexibead, extra small. And I'm just going to take this one and push it onto the tube. There we go. So now take a small bit of Sabagap to secure my thread before I cut it off, and give a bit of glue so that the bead has something to connect to. There we go. And I push it in. Cut off the thread and start up again. Now it's time to choose another cock hackle. This is a red. And this will finish off the fly, more or less. I would like for it to have a bit longer fibers than the previous hackle. There we go. Same procedure. Use my fingers to fold in the hackle so that it falls in nice and neatly. It doesn't catch previous hackle fibers underneath. Yeah, about 4 turns again would suit the places where I fish. Secure, cut off. Now just create a small base of thread here to give something for the conehead to attach to. And we're using extra small Pro coneheads, in this case in black. Again, I just push it onto the tube, and I take my super glue, just apply something to the thread, and fold back and secure the fly. Push in a conehead like this. And I pull it off, cut off so that there's just like 1 or 2 millimeters. And I burn a collar to finish the fly. And there you have it, my take on a hackle fly, a variation of the alley shrimp.